There we go, the fire's burning a bit lower there, mate. As time goes on, just do a panoramic shot of the trees. With our fish slice. Beautiful in here, isn't it, mate?
It certainly is.
Mr. O's donkey jacket.
How dare you?
Right, and there's the lovely Mr. O.
Hello everybody.
I'm just going to hit you with a question, sir, on top of your head. If you was to meet your younger self, what advice would you give him?
Stop being such a mad, soft little wanker, basically, and I would grab myself by the scruff.
Yeah.
For many years, I wallowed in my own self-pity of woe is me, and depression, and all this, and just sat like a tramp lad in a pool of his own sick, basically. And you bleat about life and how badly you're done by, you've not achieved this, you've not achieved that, and then one day I lost my mum, and
Yeah.
took out, her health declined, then within a few months she'd been dead, and that was kind of a rude awakening, because then, only then, you realise how good you had it, you know, and it makes you reevaluate everything that I held dear to that point and exposed as just bullshit,
Yeah.
just meaningless crap, you know. I was a millionaire, I didn't even know it, because I had a woman who'd do anything for me and love me unconditionally, and then when they leave you,
Without prejudice as well, don't
yes, and it's like, fucking hell, the rug is well and truly pulled under
they?
from under you, and it humbles you and it weakens you, but paradoxically it strengthens you.
Yeah.
So in answer to your question, if I could speak to my younger self, I'd bollock the little fucker. I'd drag him by the scruff of the neck,
Yeah.
and I'd show him what's what.
Mm.
How about you, Mr. A?
Well, I think at the end of the day, I used to overanalyse things as a young Mr. H. I was a very scared Mr. H. I used to make a lot of excuses to hide that fear, as I think we all do.
I still do, between.
You know, I mean, we termed it as its fear, but obviously people will be feeling that same emotion around the world. But I think I would try to say, you know, you have to face them fears sometimes, and good can come out of them.
Fear knocked at the door, faith opened it. There was no one there,
Yeah, yeah.
as the old Chinese proverb goes.
I've let a lot of opportunities go in my life, so, you know, through that fear.
I have done that, and I've also fucking personally sabotaged a lot of fucking good opportunities.
Yeah,
You know, just out of this being brought up in a way that
sorry, I'm shaking there like
it's
an
all-
old fucker.
It's fine. Brought up in a way that you think, well, you don't deserve happiness, and so you kind of work to that blueprint, and
Also, fear of success is another one, mate.
yeah, you
But-
know.
But yeah, I used to have that. You know, I can relate to that sabotaging things. I mean, don't get me wrong. The opportunities that you've let go are not the only opportunity. They're not. I'm not looking back now and saying, "Oh, you know, I let that opportunity go." It was a opportunity, but how long do you go on before there's no You know, you've used your opportunities up.
But no bridges left to burn. as
You
they
know.
say.
What do you think the young Mr. O would think about the Mr. O of today?
That's a very interesting question. Would he be disappointed? I don't know. I suppose when I was younger, I always imagined I'd be a big bodybuilder. That's where that was where I was into, and I'd have loads of money and all this crap and a Ferrari and things. And perhaps he'd be very disappointed, but equally, looking back, I'm very disappointed in him.
Yeah,
Oh, it swings and roundabouts, really, isn't it? You know.
yeah. I mean, I held some stupid ideas like, you know, again, fear. You know, if you touched the one drink of lager, your liver would be out on its fucking arse, you know. And Well, I like a partner, I must admit, you know, but...
Well, exactly, it's, our generation was brought up with a lot of fear.
And hang-ups.
Still with that mindset of, that doesn't happen to people like us, and all these younger generations who go to university now and things like that. It was never an option for us. It was like, right,
I'm taking on it, itching.
Pickle factories taking on. Why are you not going? But I suppose.
Oh, if you lost your job, they'll not sign on.
I've always been a conscientious objector to things. You know, even from a young age. Perhaps it's being an only child that gives you that time to think.
Yeah.
Where the others are just looking after Molly's baby, and you know, they're so gregarious, and they get locked into that world of family and things. And there's nothing wrong with that, but when you're not from a strong family unit, you tend to have a lot of time for analyse things and think about them, how things really are. You know.
I know my own father. One of his mistakes was he was in a little box of fear, still is to a certain degree, and he passed that on to me. The only difference was where we sort of as a youngster, you have that thing of saying, I'm sure you've tried this with your own father, of saying, you know, trying to have that man-to-man talk, and instead of admitting I'm as lost as you, they don't. They try and put this big front up. Well, what's one go abroad for? There's no there.
They fuck you up, your mum and dad. They do not mean to, but they do. They gave you all the faults they had, and had some extra, just for you. It's that kind of thing, innit, of passing fear on.
Yeah.
And like all the fucking bad traits get passed down to you, and I find myself speaking like my father, you know what I mean, and that's a load of crap. You know, that kind of working class cynical thing, you know, but...
Well, I know that, let's try and get myself in shot here, does that look...
Well, over to the
right, up a
yeah,
bit, down a bit.
Yeah, that's it, that's
there
right.
We go. I know when I was living on Maitland Court, and my father said, what does one move there for? It was, for these that are on £1,000 a week, or £1,000 to those who are not from Wigan.
Americans, you see.
Yeah, and it was like, these flats, I don't think anybody worked in there, did they? Everybody was all social.
They built them with the idea of being a yuppie's paradise, but they built them across the road from fucking Tip.
Yeah,
so
yeah, they did, yeah.
Basically, they ended up being filled with dollies, but at least the money was
and battered women round the back.
Yeah, Kate. What was her name?
No, I can't remember. Lambert.
Jeff Mott and Kate. She's dead, isn't she?
Yeah, I can't remember her name. They drank themselves to death, the pair of them. But, there was that sort of thing that, you can't make it on your own.
No.
And
it's true, isn't it? It's,
what do you want leave home for?
Life's hard, really. It's not all plain sailing for anybody. And if somebody's watching this and think, well, it's been a breeze for me. One day you're going to get a kick in the stones that'll knock you to your knees.
Would you say that being an only child has had something to do with that?
Well, there's been times in my life as an only child. It's very, very lonely, and I'm sure you're the same when there's nobody about.
No, you've no brothers and sisters. Bat off.
And so it helps you. I think it helps you develop your mind analytically, and it helps you cope with loneliness to a point where sometimes loneliness becomes a
necessity,
a requirement, doesn't it? Because you want to be on your own. You just don't. Sometimes you just don't feel the need to speak to anybody or converse with anybody, because you just don't want to, you know what I mean? You just want to be quiet. You can't beat solitude to a certain extent. Too much of it is a bad thing, but if you just the right amount of solitude works wonders for you. The recharge, you know what I mean? Not be mithered or bothered by anybody, and just do your own thing without clocking in or But life is hard, and you just have to be strong sometimes, and it will knock you on your ass. You just have to keep getting back up, And the thing is, with depression, you might be in the throes of really bad depression, and it's like, what you have to kind of tell yourself is, keep working through it. Don't just give in to it. Just keep plodding on, and you will come out the other side of it. You know what I mean? You can't have, I don't want to say like a philosophy or anything, but if your life was sunshine all the time, you wouldn't know sunshine, because it wouldn't be called sunshine, it'd be one fixed state. You know, you need rain and you need bad times to balance everything up.
Erwin Rommel once said, sir, that in order to appreciate victory you had to suffer defeat.
Well, exactly.
It's that type of thing.
That thing about also when you're in the midst of glory, it's fleeting. You know,
yeah.
It is fleeting, your glory. I think that poem, Rudyard Kipling's If, now I'm not saying it correctly how it is in the poem, but it says about treating success and disaster, treating those two imposters the same. You know, with a certain amount of indifference to the happiness and a slight indifference to the unhappiness as well, to keep an even keel sort of thing. But what the fuck do I know, Mr. H?
What the fuck does anyone know, mate?
Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir.
Anyway, mate, I think 11 minutes. We'll leave it there.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Mr. H.
Goodbye, Mr. O. I'm the young Mr. O.